We have a great guest tonight, Pastor Artur Pawlowski. He was on our show. He's the pastor that kept the police officers out of jail, his church, screamed at them, Nazi, fought the laws, has been arrested 30, 40 times, was just in jail right now for 51 days in solitary confinement. We have him on our show, and we're going to talk about how they took away his freedom and rights. But tonight, Ezra, my co-host and legal advisor, is not here. He is at a private event, and we have two new co-hosts, professional podcasts hosts, and he wants to be called Joe, the regular guy. Hello, Joe.
Hi, Heshy. How are you today?
You are more handsome than all the other co-hosts we ever had.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I'll take that as a compliment.
It is. We're going to talk to you more. And then we have Debbie Levinson. Debbie, you are wonderful. Usually I tell Sawyer how pretty she is, but you're just as pretty and beautiful, and your hair looks so nice and all that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Welcome.
It's a pleasure being here today.
You got it. So anyways, our show tonight, we're going to be talking to Artur Pawlowski. He is a pastor in Canada, and he's fighting them freedom. They keep arresting him for just not masking up, not letting them people in schools. And Joe, you know when we had the holidays and the synagogues open and the police kept coming and the health department kept locking us down.
Me personally, I think he should be in jail for a very long time.
Who?
This pastor.
Why?
He's disobeying a Democrat.
Well, as you know, I also disobeyed Cuomo and de Blasio.
And how come you're out free?
Because you're not funny. I'm the funny one, Joe. We have to fight for our freedoms and rights. And on this show, not only do we fight for our freedoms and rights, we fight for the freedoms of others. We fight and we care for others. We stand for America. We stand for our... Wait.
I'm sorry. Now I'm confused.
Talking over me.
You told me you're running for a Democrat, but you sound like a Republican now. Fighting for people...
Are you from New York? You know, in New York City.
I'm from New York, but over here you don't have a choice. If you're not a Democrat, you can't vote.
Exactly. That's my story.
So what are you doing?
So I am, by the way, you are correct. We just handed in a bunch of signatures to get on the ballot for a state senator and district leader, and hopefully there'll be no objections. But you know, Simcha Felder and all these other guys, they're going to object to my signatures. Matter of fact, Joe, you and Debbie were helping me collect signatures, and you were standing with me.
We thought that you were going to help the community.
And we're going to try that. Anyways, we're going to start our show tonight with a quick commercial so we can pay for the show. And then we're going to have, by the way it works, Debbie, here is I make a joke and a quote, and you must laugh at my joke.
Okay.
Even if it's not funny, he's saying it's mandatory.
Yeah.
So we're being held against our will?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Okay. Anyways, here we go. Plaza. Can I talk?
If you read me my Miranda rights, I'll laugh.
Wow, Joe. Wow, he's not letting me talk. He's worse than Sawyer. Anyways, Joe, if you need a new car, a leased car, you got to go with Plaza Auto Leasing. They're not only a leasing company, but they're also a dealership. You get the best of both worlds. The flexibility to lease or buy any vehicle, make or model, combined with quick service, huge inventory, and easy approvals. There's no finance manager to meet with, just a friendly pal sales representative that can handle most of your transactions from start to finish without you even having to step a foot in their office. By the way, PAL stands for Plaza Auto Leasing, Joe. You got that?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. All you have to do is place your order, and they will even deliver your car right to your door. What are you waiting for, Joe? Become a pal and call Plaza Auto Leasing today. You can reach Plaza Auto Leasing at 718-975-9000.
Give me that number again.
Very good, Joe. I like you. You flow right in.
I want to order a custom Escalade. They have that?
They have that too.
They're going to give me a good deal?
Great deal.
I'm on your show. I'm going to get a good deal?
We have to listen to the end of the commercial, and you'll find out how you get a good deal. 718-975-9000.
I'm writing it down. 718-975.
9000.
Who do I talk to?
You just talked. We can check their website at www.plazaautoleasing.com.
So when I get to their location, I should check their website?
You could check their website before you go there. Wow, Joe, you're not going to let me get this show going.
Where is this place?
Debbie, he's not going to let me get this show. If you let me talk, you can check out their website www.plazaautoleasing.com, located at 2750 Nostrand Avenue. Let me repeat it to you again so you can write it down. Drink a bottle of water. 2750 Nostrand Avenue on the corner of Nostrand Avenue and Avenue N. Again, call 718-975-9000. Become a pal today, and don't forget to tell them, here's where you get your discount, Uncle Heshy sent you.
Are you telling me that I don't have to go down there? I could do all this online?
Online.
I
They
can- and
not
they
only
bring
did
their
I
car-
do, not only did I get my car online and on the phone, they delivered it to me. They gave me auto start.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was great.
So I could leave Shul Matzah Shabbos and my car will be outside.
I don't know about that. You have to speak to them about that. I'm not one of the
But
pals.
you didn't. Oh, okay. So who do I speak to again?
You call them and find one of the representatives and ask anyone. They're all great. They
professional.
all know their stuff. Anyways, we are going to begin our show because we have the pastor waiting on the call with us. And what I want to do is we have 2 minutes because I don't want to keep the pastor waiting. He's a holy man and a good man. So I got to tell you my quote of the day. I always have a quote about a guest or something special that I make up. So here's my quote. This quote is about the pastor himself because he just loves everybody. Love has nothing to do with what you're expecting to get, only what you're expecting to give, which is everything. There's only one happiness in this life. It's to love and be loved. And this pastor gives everything he's got to his congregants, gives everything that he's got to his country, not only to his country. I believe when he's come to America, we all love him. This guy gives it to everybody, and once and for all, when you hear from this guy on the radio, on our show, you're going to just love this man because he just has love and he keeps giving and feeding. If you think I've done anything by feeding the hundreds of people and running around, this guy does 10 times more than anybody you can ever expect. And I'm so proud that he's on our show. Anyways, I want to give you my joke. Are you ready, Joe?
I'm ready. Yeah,
Okay,
but it better be funny.
It better be
you want
funny.
me to laugh.
I will. When I was a tour guide, I was away. I was away a lot from home, and my son Yaakov started. My little baby Yaakov started to crawl for the first time while I was away on business. I also missed his first steps. I was now afraid I would miss his first words. You got that, Debbie? So each day I called home and asked my wife Linda if he's spoken yet. The answer was always no, until one day my wife Linda said, Heshy, you know what? Yaakov, your son, had something to say to you. I said, what? She puts him on the phone and he says, Daddy, Daddy.
Aw.
Yeah. So I heard it over the phone. I glowed with pride. My wife Linda came on back on the line and said, you better come home quickly. I said, why? He was speaking to the dog. Okay, wow, you're the first ones that actually laughed at my jokes. My other
my
co-hosts
God,
don't.
yeah.
I love you guys.
That was funny though.
Thank you. You
You
see?
want to know something?
But a
And
little
now I
sad, too.
believe you that it's your son
Okay,
because he loves dogs more than what's
I don't know what you're
what they
talking
call
about.
it? Humans.
I don't know what they're doing. Anyways, we have the show running. We're going to put the pastor on the phone, a very holy man. Let's get him on the phone. But I want you to know, Joe, you can ask the pastor any question. He's
It
not.
is 85%.
He's on the phone.
Animal lovers, by the way.
What?
85% animal lovers.
85% animal lovers?
In New York.
Okay, well, anyways.
in Borough Park,
Okay,
in
we
New
we
York.
have the pastor phone. Pastor! I think he's.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Pastor, I want you to know, I know you just got out of jail again. I want you to tell the audience, what number is this? Hello?
This would be my 16th arrest, over 100 court cases, 340 citations so far.
Wow. And what they did the last time to you is they kept you in solitary confinement for 51 days?
Well, first they kept me in solitary for over 30 days. They let me out. Then the director of a remand center put me back on solitary again. I was in metal box. I was every day they would take me to a concrete cell. They were inciting violence through the guards towards me, telling the inmates to beat me up. I had a number of inmates coming to me, and they said the guards came to us and they said, "Hey, we're going to open the doors of Pawlowski's cell. If you can beat him up, we're going to give you extra time out of your cells." Then, after 40-some days, I was transferred to another prison in Edmonton where I was placed in solitary confinement again, which they call it administrative segregation, because they claimed I am extremely dangerous. After 40 few days already spending in prison, they said I'm extremely dangerous, and they placed me in administrative segregation in a freezing cold cell with a letter that I might spend 45 days in that place, maybe indefinitely. So the next day was the trial, and our lawyers pleaded with the judge, and then the judge heard the story and I think that scared them because they moved me to a mental ward, believe it or not, into another unit, and they said, you are just entered the wild west, and they had a great time. And again, you got to remember, I was snatched from my house. I was kidnapped from my house by RCMP. RCMP is like your FBI with the Calgary police, with the detectives. It was a sting operation like El Chapo, El Capone takedown. And then I was interrogated by RCMP and then taken to prison, facing dozen criminal charges for inciting violence, inciting mischief.
Pastor, explain that to us. What does that mean that you are inciting violence? I mean, they must have had some kind of proof or some witness to do this to you?
No witnesses, and everything is based on a speech that I gave at the Montana-Alberta borders in Coutts. I don't know if you are familiar. I'm sure you are with
can I ask,
track
where are you located?
I'm in Calgary, Alberta, so I am very close to the Montana border, and I was invited by the truck convoy. I'm sure you've heard about it. We had over 1 million people lining up the streets and going to Ottawa. Some say 500,000 people were right in the capital, and another 1 million on the road cheering them up. So I was asked to give speeches. We, for a long time, we have been resisting this tyranny. I was one of the key speakers at the rallies. We had 15 to 20,000 people every week.
So
were asked.
So, Pastor, they arrested everybody, all the 15 speakers?
No, it was 15,000 people. They only arrested.
What were you charged with? What did they arrest you for?
He said for incitement.
When you say they kidnapped you, can you tell me about that in a summary? Because we're on the show and we don't have a lot of time. But can you just tell us a quick summary how they arrested you?
No. Let the pastor speak.
First of all,
but tell us what happened. You said they kidnapped you from your house. They put you in a psych ward, mental institution. Well, tell me how that happened.
Okay, so one question at the time. They arrested over 100 people that were part of
Let him talk. Go ahead, Pastor. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So for the Freedom Convoy, they have arrested over 100 people that were in a leadership position or they spoke at the Freedom Rally. And at times we had 15 to 20,000 people attending those rallies. And the charges that we were arrested under was inciting mischief, violence, interfering with the crucial infrastructure. We were charged with attending rallies, all kinds of crazy stuff. For example, some of the people were charged with breaches of probation or just trespassing or disturbing peace. So they were cooking and bringing all kinds of different things against us, made up stuff, cooked up stuff. And when they came to my home, they had undercover officers waiting for us. For me, when I stepped out of my house, the RCMP officers, that's your FBI, and the Calgary police undercover officers took me from the front of my house without my shoes. I didn't have a chance even to get my shoes, and they took me to the police station, after to the police detention, and then from there to prison.
Now, Pastor, my question to you is, and Joe wants to know as well, the people of your city, I mean, they see this happening. They see that it's wrong. I mean, there's no way to fight back. There's no legal
Ramifications?
Yeah.
Well, of course there is, but we are dealing with a Nazi communist style totalitarian police state, right? So you got to remember, I grew up behind the Iron Curtain. I grew up under the boots of the Soviets. And, you're talking about law and justice. You're talking about the totalitarian regime following the the legal ways, but those people are not interested in following the law. They are tyrants. They are Gestapo, KGB style of people.
I don't hear nothing.
Take that one. You have another
Sorry, we were having technical difficulties.
one. Put the volume.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you, Pastor. Now my mic is working and I hear you. Thank you.
Okay, great.
So, Pastor,
Yeah.
the foolish thing here is your government seems to get away with this over and over again. Just 16 arrests over nothing. You're not a violent person. They put you in jail to beat you, to hurt you, which is illegal, and they continue to torture you, and you keep fighting for the people. You know, recently I'm running for the state senate so I can make change. Maybe you should run for political office, but maybe it's not a win. I mean, I don't know what to do. They keep coming after us. They keep stopping us. They keep torturing us. And you and I keep fighting. I know that I made a quote about you that you love everybody and you want to give out love and you're a holy man. But how much can you take? How much can this? I mean, they're beating us. I mean, are they winning?
I don't think they're winning. I mean, it looks like they're winning because they control the mainstream media. But let me tell you something. I spent 4 months in your amazing country, and everywhere I would show up, I would have a standing ovation. We had 10, 15,000 people at our conferences. There is a lot of us. And, you know, you got to remember, you're talking to a guy that grew up under the boots of the Soviet behind the Iron Curtain.
Pastor,
and
let me
it
ask
looked
you a
like
question.
50,000.
How many followers do you have? Like in your
Congregation or
whatever you want to
church?
call it, church?
Well, depends where you're looking.
How many
at.
people come to the
we
church?
have-
You're a pastor. How many people come to your church?
we have a standing room only. I mean, the church is completely packed.
How
There's
many-
No more.
Completely
seats.
packed, and they all know what's going on, what's being happening to you, what they're doing to you.
Yeah, every week we had 15 to 20,000 people in downtown Calgary. So there is a lot of people rising up, and more by the minute. The more they are doing this to us, the more people are being awakened and they see what's really going on. At first, those people were playing games. This was about COVID. This was about, keeping us safe and saving our loved ones. Now, 2 years later,
And you're saying
pretty
that it's
much
just being
everyone with the
ignored?
brain.
Ignored completely? Like they're just still doing this to you? You said you just got out of jail.
Well, I was trying to explain. You keep interrupting me. So the thing is, the totalitarian regimes, that's what they do. They will never stop on their own. But the more they're pushing, the more they're trying to rob us from our rights, the more people are awakened and the more people see what's really going on. Now, when we started our rallies, we had 12 people joining us. The last rally I attended, we had 20,000 people on the streets of Calgary. So what I'm trying to tell you, the more they are doing those stupid things and the more we are exposing them, the more people are coming to our side. What we need to do, because when you look at the totalitarian regime, you look and many people lose hope. They think, well, there's nothing we can do about this atrocities, this craziness. And I'm telling you, the more they are doing those things to us, the more we have an opportunity to expose them, and the more people will come to our side. That's why it's so important to keep plowing the ground, to keep doing what we're doing is crucial for us to run for political office. It's crucial.
I agree,
to do those shows.
Pastor. I agree with you. But my question is, this doesn't end. You and I know this pandemic is over. You and I know, even in New York City now, they want us to keep the masks on the 2-year-olds. Today, the health inspector yesterday came out and said, "Well, you're right. COVID is down. We don't have really a license for the vaccine shot for little kids, but I want everybody to wear masks anyways." When I've gone to weddings, the COVID numbers down. I was in the hospital today. Nothing is going on. They continue to push this COVID and lockdowns, and like you said, the totalitarian actions against us. There has to be a reason. You're a man of God. You're a holy man. How do they even have a right to touch a man like you? And in jail, how do they even how do other prisoners not respect their stupidity of even trying to touch a man of God? I mean, this is just crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. But like I said, the more they are doing this, the more mistakes they make like this. When I was in prison, I have become a hero for the people. I mean, absolutely, the inmates loved me. People have a great respect right now for someone that is standing up for their rights as well. What I'm trying to say is that more and more people are coming to our side. More and people see what's really going on. And I believe the tide is turning. I think we're flipping the tables on them right now. And the more they're pushing, the more people will come to our side, and we're going to start winning.
Will at the end of the day, Pastor, will your leadership be changed? Will you get these crazies out of office once and for all?
Yes, of course. I mean, the fight will never be over. There will always be evil people that want to do evil deeds. However, I believe we're about to see some good people taking political offices. I think people are hungry for good people to lead them.
Well, Pastor, I can tell you one thing, that I'm trying to join you, but sometimes I just want to give up. You know, recently I had a young girl in the hospital that passed away from terminal cancer, and we were talking to her, and she says, you got to love. You got to keep fighting. She says, you don't know how much time you have left on this planet, and never stop helping your fellow man. And I'm so proud of what you do, Pastor, that you never give up and you never stop fighting. And God bless you. I want to put you on hold for a minute because I have another question, but I got to do a quick commercial if you don't mind. It's going to be a second, and it's a very important one. It's my friend and co-host Ezra Levy. He is an attorney he does the criminal law. He does also family court, and he's just out of this world. He's helped me with a lot of young children that go to jail. His phone number is 917-755-1187. If you need an attorney for any criminal actions, I wish you would be in Canada, Pastor, because he'd save you. He does so much good work for the people. 917-755-1187. He would love to have been here to talk to you because he loves you. He always talks great about you and how you keep fighting. Ezra Levy, for any criminal, family matters, he does all of that kind of law. Call Ezra Levy, 917-755-1187. Pastor, your congregation, you sit with your board of directors, you sit with the people, you have so many of your members there. I'm sure some of them are telling you, Pastor, forget the rest of them, just worry about us because it doesn't work anymore. They're coming after us. Are they scared? Are they frightened? They're just telling you to give up. Is anybody telling you to give up? I know everybody tells you to stop, but aren't people trying to drag you away and say, listen, it's over?
Actually, opposite. Every single day, non-stop. My phone never stops ringing, and the texts are coming of people thanking me for standing up for them, encouraging me to stand up. When I was in prison, there was an everyday ongoing protest outside of the Remand Center, the longest ongoing everyday protest in the history of the Remand Center. 44 days, every single day, there was people praying, there was people preaching, there was people worshiping, there was people challenging the authorities. So I think the story of resistance, the story of fight is encouraging more and more people to join the fight. So that's why I'm saying we're not losing. We are gaining. We have been getting the beating of our lives for the past 2 years, but I see the tide is turning. I see more and more people joining us. More and more people are aware of what's really going on, and they don't want me to quit. They want me to continue.
Well, Debbie, you have something to ask for the pastor, something?
Thank you. This is my first time on the radio, but Pastor, I just want to thank you so much for the work that you're doing, and it sounds like you're a freedom fighter for the whole world. I know that you're in Canada.
Oh, I admire.
Yeah, we admire you for your work, but I wanted to ask you, So do you think that there's a difference between the Canadian law and the American law, though? Because in Canada, you're still part of the Commonwealth. So, in your opinion, do you think that this is something that can be transferred over to America? Because we do have the Bill of Rights here.
Well, I think the fight is very similar because in Canada, in America, in the United States, they're doing the same tactics. I mean, you have your protection of the amendments, the Constitution. However, they're still breaking the law. I know personally people that were arrested by FBI just simply because they were during January the 6th at the Capitol. They didn't break any law. They didn't do anything unlawful. However, they were arrested. I know that some people are still in prison. I know of preachers being arrested. Rodney Howard Brown was arrested. Others were hammered as well. So what is happening right now globally is that those people have a total disrespect to the law and order, justice, Constitution, Charter of Rights and Freedom, Bill of Rights. So it really doesn't matter where we are in a free and democratic countries. We are facing the same enemy, and that's why it's so important to unite together and push this great evil united.
I agree with you, Pastor, and I'm with you 100%. And I'm never going to stop fighting, even if they make fun of me. I mean, even if they come after me, I'm going to keep running, and I'm going to try to get elected because I want to get inside and stop them. Maybe I can from the inside. And I'm just telling you, Pastor, that the problem that I have is so many people have given up, and I know we have to pull them back out. But I hate that you were in jail for 51 days, and it doesn't make sense that they keep doing this to you. And they keep getting away with it. I mean, is there elections coming up soon? Is something going to change in your country, or are you going to suffer another 2 years? Or what is the limit here? Because we have elections coming up this November where we will be making a change to not our presidency, but to our Senate, to our local New York elections, to our Congress. Are you going to be having some kind of a change there? Is there a way that you can do, like, change your parliament or force some kind of change, or are you just stuck now the next few years?
Yeah, we are unfortunately stuck for the next few years. We just had an election and it was stolen from us. By the way, during our federal election in Canada, they used Dominion machine. So full stop. Now you know that we never stood a chance. They've stolen our election. However, there is a big change happening because there's millions of Canadians that are rising up left and right. And even the mainstream media, they started to change just slightly, a little bit for good. So I see a lot of positive things happening. And the more they are pushing, the more they are doing evil against us, the more they're exposing themselves for who they really are.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you now.
I have no idea. What part of Canada are you in? I'm not
Alberta.
familiar. Alberta? Oh, okay, fine.
Now, Pastor, I asked you this question before last time. This is costing you not a few dollars. It's costing you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees and loss of time and work, and as well as your own personal life. Somehow you need to get some kind of donations, or can you tell us where we can send some money to help, to try to help, to throw a little bit your way, to maybe ease a little bit of your hardship? Is there anything we could do to help you?
Sure, you can go to www.streetchurch.ca, streetchurch.ca, and there's donate over there. You can use PayPal, you can use your credit card, you
Hello?
can use.
Do you have a do you have
transfer.
GoFundMe out there?
No, GoFundMe is stealing money from Christians. So I'm not. I'm staying away from all those platforms because, as you are aware, they just stolen over $10 million that the truck convoy raised for the protest. So those platforms are very unreliable these days. So I try to raise my funds on a site. So e-transfer, it comes straight directly to the bank account. You can use cryptocurrency if you want, and you can use PayPal and the credit card as well that goes safely directly straight to our bank account. All the other platforms, I hesitate right now to use them because the government in Canada has commanded them to rob the people from their donations. So it's a sketchy thing right now.
Yeah,
but if you
I
go
heard
to
that, Pastor.
streetchurch.ca.
But Pastor, I heard that. Is that allowed? They can freeze your accounts, freeze your donations. I mean, how do they even come up? I mean, is Canada completely crazy that you can do such a thing?
No, you cannot do that, but unfortunately they're doing it, and that's the problem. It's such a lawlessness right now that they're not following the law of the land. They're getting away with the murder, you're right, but that's why we're doing those shows. We're exposing more and more, and that's why I encourage people to go to the website. So come straight to our website, streetchurch.ca, www.streetchurch.ca, and you can send us your help directly to our bank account.
Well, Pastor, you're going to be getting something for me because I'm so proud of you, and I can't believe what you've been doing, and I'm sad because you try so hard and you have to keep fighting, and I don't know why people just don't understand that this is the right way, and we should not just rise up, we should be more than rising up, shouting and challenging, but I guess sometimes I don't know, maybe like you said, the Bible says the meek shall inherit the earth. I don't know when we're going to inherit it because they're not giving it to us. They're taking it from us.
Well, like I said, more and more people are coming to our side. I mean, at the very beginning, there were only few people that understood what's going on. Immigrants, people like me, we came from behind the Iron Curtain, so I could pick this up right away. And I told the people, this has nothing to do with health and keeping us safe and our loved ones. Now we have tens of thousands of people that are coming to the rallies, are speaking out. I mean, the left and right, there is more and more people. So I believe there is light in the tunnel.
Wow. Well, Pastor, now may I ask you a question? Your wife and children, how are they taking it? I mean, I know you told me they're behind you, and I know they're strong and they love you. I mean, I mean, you've got to see something. They've got to be breaking. I'm sure the government is trying to hurt you through them. I mean, I know they're strong, but what are they saying? I mean, I know your wife is behind you, your kids and your family, but are they just about to be exhausted, or they're never going to give up either? Or do they still have the 100% power like you?
Well, they're 100% behind, but I have to admit, this time, 2 months in prison, it has been very, very hard on them because, I'm the provider. I always do stuff. I go, I make things happen. I'm a man, and I'm a provider. So it was very hard on my children, very hard on my wife. I was missing in action. My son had to take over the protest every single day. He would be there, threatened by the police, threatened by correctional officers, threatened by sheriffs every single day. So I remember he said to me, it's time for you to come out from prison because it's very hard on us. And I'm very grateful that God allowed me to come out of this horrible place. And my wife, she said to me many times, she says, you have to come out. It's very tough on us. So, of course, but they're strong. They passed the test. They are amazing people. I have the best wife ever, and I'm so proud of my children and my son that was like a roaring lion fighting for his father and for this evil to be exposed. So we have to do what we have to do. I mean, there is no other way. You know that, I know that history is teaching us that if we will not keep pushing, they win. The only thing that stands against their victory is people like you and me. So we have to keep plowing. We have to keep exposing. We have to keep fighting.
I agree, Pastor. I mean, there's no question that I agree with you and I'm on your side. But sometimes, you are a man. No matter what you want to say, you are a man. And I know it gets to you. I know personally that you must be exhausted. And I know you keep going. Just that I don't know how you keep going. That's why I'm ashamed when I talk to you that I can't do as much as you because you just never stop. And I'm not building you up. You're a leader. Many times I tell people it's not only your ability but it's your responsibility. And you've taken on so much responsibility, Pastor. I don't know how you do it. And may God bless you every moment. May God bless America and Canada. And I know He's watching over us. And I'm so happy that you're my friend now, because I consider you a friend. I consider you a leader. And I wish, before you go, to give us a prayer, not just for me, but for all of us, for the whole world, to say, listen, wake up, give us some kind of a prayer, something to tell us and keep our spirits up.
Sure. So, Father God, I just pray that the courage would enter their hearts. I pray that they would be like Daniel in a lion's den. I pray that they will be like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that were thrown into a fire furnace. Because in the fire, you deal with our enemies. In the fire, you set us free. In the fire, you show up to purify us. In the fire, we have a testimony. And in the fire, you elevate us. So I bless everyone that is watching this and listening. I pray, Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, that you would give them courage and strength and boldness of lions. I pray that they will go forth, and I pray that no weapon forged against them shall prosper. I pray that all the gallows, the Hamans of today are building against your children. I pray that they themselves will hang on their own devices. I pray that women will be like Deborahs and Esthers. If we perish, we perish, but we will do what our God is requiring us to do. I pray that we will be like those heroes of old, that we will go in a face of our enemies, in the face of Goliath, like David, and say, who do you think you are, Biden? Who do you think you are, you Fauci? Who do you think you are, you witch, you Hillary Clinton, that you should defy the armies of the living God? Who do you think you are, you uncircumcised Philistines?
You are great. Amen, Pastor. And may God bless you. Thank you for joining our show. You are just, and I promise you that I'm coming out to Canada. I don't know how I'm going to get there to find you, but I'm coming to you, and I'm going to give you a hug. And when you come to New York, I really want to try to catch you. God bless you. Keep the fight up. I'm going to keep the fight up, and we're going to see how this year goes, because I know New York City, we're not giving up, and we keep fighting back. God bless you, and thank you for your call, Pastor. And take care of your beautiful, wonderful family.
Thank you. God bless you.
Wow. Thank you. Isn't he great? Isn't he great, Joe and Debbie? Isn't he great? Wow. Anyways, we're going to do another commercial. The pastor was good. We're going to talk about that call. We right now have attorney office of James Meadows. Now, Joe, you're going to need this guy. Joe?
I'm listening.
I'll tell you why, because James Meadows is a highly ranked traffic lawyer, and you get a lot of tickets, Joe. I mean, you're always in trouble, no?
Me never.
Never?
I
Well,
obey
I'm
the
in
laws
trouble.
of the land.
I'm in trouble. I have a lot of problems. So he's a former criminal lawyer. He's dedicated to all moving live violations throughout New York State. James handles all points-related moving violations in New York City, Long Island, and upstate New York. Speeding, red lights, cell phones, stop signs, failure to yield. How are you, Debbie, with all that?
It sounds wonderful.
Okay, you got to talk louder. I can't hear a nice, quiet, sweet girl. I like a tough witch.
Well, I'm saying that sounds wonderful.
Well, very good. Let me keep going. And
Actually, your wife's
and he
tough.
also takes improper traffic turn offenses with stiff penalties, including huge fines, points, increased insurance rates, suspensions of your driver's license, and even being arrested. The law offices of James Meadows is your best chance of beating your traffic ticket. 845-TICKETS, or you could call him at 845-842-5387. Again, 845-842-5387, or he translates to 845-TICKETS, and even has a cell phone number, 917-856-1247, 917-856-1247. Now, Joe, you just heard the pastor speak
I did,
for about a half hour. I know you didn't seem so interested in freedom.
No, of course I'm interested.
But do you understand
going
that
around
he
about
keeps
the
going
same
to
thing.
jail?
Yeah.
I mean, Joe, you fight the same fight, Joe, don't you? Don't you?
What are you talking about, Heshy? We're not talking about me over here. We're talking about your radio show.
I'm talking about all of us.
I
mean,
don't know how you told me you had an issue with your wife. That's what you said we were discussing.
No, we were not discussing.
So
Joe.
why are you discussing with me?
I'm discussing because we all have
What are
our
you talking
issues
about?
with freedom.
What are you talking about, Heshy? I'm so confused. You move on with your show. Focus on Debbie and yourself. I don't know what you're talking about me.
I'm not talking. I'm sorry. I apologize, Joe.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
If the
you have
government
me
takes
reading
away
a
your
script
rights,
or something.
no, but the government takes away your rights.
Never.
Never. You
My
never
rights?
lost your problems during the first months of the pandemic. You
We
were never
did.
locked up.
We did. What do
You
you mean
didn't have a
locked up?
problem on
Is my mic
going
working?
out
My
or
mic's
shopping.
not working. 1 second.
You-
My mic is not working. No, I don't hear.
I know. I don't
coming
hear
through her
anybody
mic.
either. But the producer seems everything
Hello?
says. Yeah.
Hello?
Keep talking.
Yeah, but it's not working.
Anyways,
No, it's not working. My mic.
it's working, Joe. It's working. Just
My mic is working
Yes.
fine?
Yes.
Okay, fine. No problem. I'm sorry. Okay. You guys hear me fine? Because I don't hear myself. I don't know why. Hello? Okay, now it's working. I hear it now. Okay, Heshy, you were saying.
We got some messages from God bless you, Shalom, a guy Bob Larry, very nice. Black Beauty, the American Constitution is the greatest obstacle to globalization. I don't know what that means. I mean, I guess she's right. I mean, we don't want to have the whole world as one. I don't know why. I thought the whole world should work together, but again, we are individuals. We should be free. Now, guys, I'm not preaching to you anything. You know, you have. And everybody tells me there's no such thing as a conspiracy. I believe there is no such thing as a conspiracy, but then when I see them going after Donald Trump and they're letting Hillary Clinton go, I mean, what do you think about Donald Trump, Joe? Or you have nothing to say about that either?
I love him. I think he's a fighter. I think he's a natural born fighter every day of his life.
So what do you think about the January 6th thing that they keep going after him and his people?
I'll tell you the honest
They're
truth.
liars.
Well, I
The
mean,
media are a bunch of liars.
you know what it is? They don't have who to put the blame on, and they figured out something else that they could put on Trump, and this excites them, and they want to throw a party in a prison cell with Republicans only.
Do you think President Trump has a chance in the next election, or will he run again?
If
100%.
If the people are smart enough to see the truth, 100%. But the people are afraid to admit the truth in this state.
I
In this
don't think so.
country.
I love Trump. And what do you think about the mask mandates?
The mask mandates?
They want to keep the mask mandates for little children in school from 2 to 4 year olds. And we just won a court case
You want my
that we
honest-
got the court case in Staten Island dismissed. And then the mayor appealed it. I mean, does he follow the
You
law?
want my
They
honest-
just keep wasting our money.
Honest opinion? We should see Joe Biden with his kids and his grandkids going with masks around wherever they go. And then
They do.
we'll- and
They
then
do
maybe-
go. They do go all over with masks.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that.
And I hate him, right? I hate him.
I feel bad for his kids and his grandkids. I mean, all of them, including Hunter. I feel bad for.
Well, is Hunter guilty?
Hunter is guilty of being his son. Yes.
Well, I don't know about
And
that.
I mean, he has. What do you mean you don't know about that? It wasn't his choice, but he's
by
guilty.
the way, you know Passover is coming in.
You know that Joe wouldn't admit anything, even if someone asked him, "Is it true that Hunter is your son?" He said no. He didn't even let the guy finish the question. He said, "No, it's not true." He said, "What did I ask you?" It doesn't matter. It's not true. It's allegations.
Well, he is in a sense correct. I mean,
Where they were just
till you
asking
take
him
it
if
to
Hunter
court-
was his son.
but okay, so
He was afraid to admit that on camera. You know why?
why?
He wasn't sure what they were referring to.
Well, I have.
If you're referring to Hunter being a positive individual, then he'll admit it.
Well, anyways, as you know,
But you know something? Trump is always guilty, even before he does something,
did you take the vaccine? By the way,
remotely.
remotely. Well, I took the vaccine.
You took the vaccine
I took both
in your
shots, both shots. And I want to tell you, so they gave me the vaccine passport. And what bothers me is that now it expired. How could a vaccine passport expire? It doesn't make sense to me.
Because you have to renew it. What do you mean? Every passport expires.
The only way I renew it is if I take another shot. I already did the mandatory
So
2
I
shots.
took the first 2 shots,
right?
and then the bartender told me that they were closing the bar, so we had to leave.
Haha, that was funny, Joe. I
Why are
like
you
that joke.
laughing? This was the same time when we had to take the shots in order to go back to work.
It's so funny. I might as well do another commercial.
What do you mean?
I'm going to do another commercial.
You took which shots?
I took the 2 Moderna shots.
No, really.
I did.
But orally? You
And not
drank?
orally. Come on, Joe.
I don't know. I'm not
We're
from
going to
here.
do a commercial for Borg's Barbershop. This is my own personal barber, Debbie. He cuts out my white hair. He makes me look good. Borg's Barbershop. He's located at 108 Avenue I. You can reach Borg's Barbershop at 718-758-5187, 718-758-5187, or you can call or text or WhatsApp Borg personally to schedule your appointment at 347-845-9131, 347-845-9131. He's my official singing barber. By the way, he sings. By the way, it's before Passover, and he personally told me, you come into him now, you get a $2 Passover break. Hey, I know it's only $2, but if you're taking 4 or 5 of your kids, you get like a free haircut. So Baruch's Barbershop, located at 108 Avenue I. Again, you can call him at 718-758-5187. Now, guys, I want to talk about another subject that I have here that's very important to me. That, Joe, they have, they want to teach LGBTQ in schools today. And they're even trying to force it. This Yafed organization is trying to force it into Jewish schools. Now, we have a Councilman Yeager that promised that he was going to fight Yafed. We have promised our Senator Felder that I'm running against for state senator. He's nowhere to be found. He hasn't gone to vote in the Senate for 2 years. He sits at home in his basement, and they're all telling me he's going to win because he has name recognition.
I will refer you to Ben Shapiro. I love him.
Very good. My question to you is, are you involved with any local politics? I mean,
I'm not involved. I watch sometimes the news when I have a chance.
so you don't know anything about it, your local senator, your local councilman?
Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about Senator Felder, who I'll be running against.
Simcha Felder?
Yeah.
Nice family. I don't know anything else about him.
But because you haven't ever heard about him.
I don't know. I stopped watching because they all promise everything before they get elected. Once they get elected, you can't even find their office.
I know. We have
so hard.
I know.
You can't get in. There's security. There's like you have to ring the bell. You have to have an appointment. And when you call and ask something, they say we're gonna write it down. So I mean, at least they write it down.
They do write it
They
down
take
because I know it takes
messages,
about 85 calls to get into him, and he has nowhere
But
to
they
be
take
found.
a message. If you want to leave a message, you can leave a message.
Well, I guess.
No, some offices, the answering machines are full.
Oh, really?
These, you can leave a message.
I
yeah.
know if you call Councilman Yeager's phone or ENOUGH
Who's
HESHY's
Yeager?
phone, he's the local councilman of Borough Park.
He's still the councilman?
He's
I
still the
remember he was
councilman.
running. He became it
He
then?
became councilman. He cheated the last 2 elections.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, evident?
We do because I myself.
So he went into office by cheating.
Oh yeah.
So if that's what you have to do, then why don't you cheat?
I don't cheat.
So
See,
you're gonna
I'd
go
rather
wait.
lose-
You're gonna do everything different than all the Democrats
Yes.
do, and you're running for a Democrat office.
Yes.
And you
Because he
think
wants to make a change in the Democratic Party.
you really think you're gonna win without doing it the way they do it?
I'll tell you why.
Why don't you learn how they do it?
I'll explain to you something. You have to.
How do they do it? By
If
the way,
when I look up to my rabbis or politicians and they're doing something bad, I don't look up to them. I don't want my
Who's your
children to them. Whoever rabbi I serve, and I have a lot of them. You know, you and I went to a wedding yesterday and we saw a holy rabbi there. If that rabbi wouldn't have done, it doesn't do the right things and does bad things, we wouldn't be leading and following. And he has tens of
You know how
thousands
many
of
rabbis
followers.
were at that wedding yesterday? Wow.
But wasn't that a beautiful wedding
It
we
was
were
the
at?
most gorgeous wedding
And the
I've ever-
rabbi was led, and he
Very
had
welcome.
lots of followers, and he's a holy man. Matter of fact, it was Rabbi Zalman from Satmar, who is a great man, and
Rabbi
I saw
Zalman
you,
Leib.
Zalman Leib, and you were sitting and talking to him, and he's just a regular guy who likes us, and again, he's a leader who doesn't do bad things. You know, our councilman, if you get divorced or you cheat on your wife, these are things that people are looking at, and if you're not doing the right thing, yeah, you can run around and do drugs or whatever. I mean, I don't agree with it, but at least don't be a leader. And when I see somebody doing stuff like that, it bothers me. And it bothers me if they don't pick up the phone. It bothers me that they come and
But
serve.
it's not their job. Their job is to get elected into office. What do you?
And then they have to lead. They have to.
No, as long as they get a paycheck, why do they have to do anything?
Okay, well, the
anyone?
government has to run. There are budgets and laws and
Which
things.
government? What are you talking about? Every government runs differently. Look what the pastor was saying about Canada. If you go against them, you go to jail.
Well, you do that in America too. I went
What are you
against.
talking about? We're learning from Russia.
Well, hey, yeah, let's bring that subject up. What do you think about the Russia-Ukraine thing?
I love Putin. He loves Jews. He
But
always
you
loved
know, Russia.
I hate what he's doing to Ukraine. That's disgusting. It cannot go unmentioned, unsaid. This is unheard of. Innocent people are in the way. This is not a war. This is something else.
So my question to you is, what do you mean something else? He is.
It's Putin. Putin lost himself.
So
Putin. This is
So
not
I just
him.
want to mention
But
something
Putin is
that
worth
recently
billions
went
and
This is
up.
not the same
But
Putin,
Putin is
that
worth-
me and you both know.
So you're saying he
All
just
these-
went crazy,
He went crazy.
and all his generals let him go crazy.
So let me tell you something. Putin has a certain personality that he can't lose. He's not allowed to be the sole loser. He's not allowed to say, I lost, I give up. It has to be somehow. The only way this is going to end if they tell him he won.
And how do they? So he's going to withdraw if they tell him he won.
100%. No, he wants what he wants because if they tell him he won, then he's gonna say, "Okay, give me control."
So
He's
that's
a
a problem.
he has
Zelensky is
to
not
be-
going to give him. But thousands of
I
Ukrainians
don't
are
wanna
dying
say-
every day.
You have to be careful what you say about leaders. I mean, look what Joe Biden said the other day by mistake, and you see how many cameras retracted what he said, and even he denied what he said. He didn't remember he said it. To be honest,
Right. That we have
I
to get rid of
believe
Putin.
what?
We have to get rid of Putin. That's what he said.
I believe Joe Biden that he doesn't remember saying that. He said that he doesn't remember saying that on camera also, and I believe him.
But I think he said he meant it in a different manner.
No, what do you mean he meant in different?
He meant it that the people should get rid of him in their.
You know, I give him respect because he's standing up for what's right. When Bibi Netanyahu, who's the president that came from Israel? He gave him a lot of respect. The last war in Israel, Joe Biden gave respect. So I respect him for that.
Well,
I respect him for that, and I respect him for standing up now to Putin. So for those two things, I respect
so
him.
our gas prices are up because of this war.
So what does that have to do with the Democrats?
I'm just telling you.
Why is it their problem? It doesn't hurt their pockets.
What do you mean it doesn't hurt their pockets?
They're elected officials. They don't pay for it. We pay for it. The government pays for their gas, for their vehicles, for
It's
their
not only that,
security.
but their people, their families, their cousins, their.
What's the mayor's name in Chicago?
I don't know.
There's a lady.
Beetlejuice.
What's her name again?
That's what they call her.
What do they call her?
Beetlejuice.
Oh, Beetlejuice.
She looks
Okay. So
Oh,
Beetlejuice
terrible.
has over 90 police officers working for her, but she's defunding the Chicago Police Department because the streets are safe for her when she goes down the streets. With 90 police officers, she feels safe. But how many murders there? 100 a weekend? How many? 100? I mean,
Yeah, somewhere around there.
yeah. The guns are all over the streets. It's freedom.
Well, don't we have crime here in New York City going up?
In New York City, no. The criminals are the people that are working. Those are the ones being punished.
Oh,
I don't
guys,
get-
her name is
I-
Lori Lightfoot.
Oh, Lori Lightfoot. That's
I would've
right.
Shout out
never
to
guessed.
Diana. Thank
That's
you.
Lori
She's
Lightfoot.
still in office?
She's listening to us.
Oh, wow.
I'm saying Lori
No,
Lightfoot.
no, Diana. I'm
No,
sorry.
her friend Diana is
Lori
listening to us.
Lightfoot is still in office,
So,
yes.
but now,
Shout out to Diana.
shout out to the.
Thanks.
I forgot to make shout outs to my granddaughter. I have a beautiful granddaughter, Mira Nava, by the way, and a
that's my
friend
last name.
Ellie and Layla, and of course Sergeant Pete. Everybody say shout out to Sergeant Peter.
Who's Sergeant Peter?
He's a good friend of mine.
Is he
He's
a
a nice
Democrat or
man.
Republican?
I don't know what he is. Doesn't make a
Apolitical?
difference.
Where
He's,
does he work?
I don't know. He's just a good Sergeant Peter.
Sergeant Peter?
That's it.
He's on the job for
He's
a
on
while?
the job,
Okay.
yeah.
Hey, shout out to Sergeant Peter for
That's
doing
it.
the right thing.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
He's not the one who closed the parks, right?
He's not the one who closed
Okay,
the parks.
thank God, okay.
That was your Mayor de Blasio or Governor Cuomo.
Not my mayor, no.
I know, not my
I went
mayor.
to a different state when he
You know
took
what
over.
they're saying? I want to ask you a question. You know, they're saying Governor Cuomo is going to try to come back. What do you think about that?
I think that he should come back
What do you mean?
to the parties that he was doing in his office.
Okay.
Come back to embarrass himself one more time.
Embarrass himself? How? He didn't know that she was coming on to him.
He got
Okay.
me too. That's the
Oh
worst
God, he
thing
got me
that
too.
can happen to any man in this country.
The only one who was putting everyone down went down. But you know something? I respect him a lot for sending that state trooper 900 miles away. How far did he send it? Because he liked his daughter?
What?
He
No,
thought
it was about, I don't know, it
No,
wasn't
he
900 miles.
The guy who was dating his daughter, he sent him like a nice highway therapy commute.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you didn't know about it?
I didn't know about it.
Because he's the one who's supposed to tell his daughter who to date, I think. Maybe he wanted to date his daughter?
I don't know.
Cuomo loved his daughter so much
Okay,
that he sent
stop,
her boyfriend
stop.
far away.
Let's talk about
Let's not
something
get
else.
political, you say?
Now, you know, there was 1,400. There was 1,400 city employees fired for not taking the vaccine. Now, the sports players, like the basketball players, the baseball players, don't need
Thank
to take
you,
the.
Relax World, for Lori Lightfoot. I just saw it.
Oh, right. Somebody just said that. Oh, her name is.
Relax World.
Not really something. Anyways, my question to you is do you believe COVID is over or not?
He
I don't
killed
even think it ever
thousands-
even existed.
I
to be
agree
honest.
with you. You were also at a wedding yesterday, Debbie. Did anybody wear masks? Did anybody
One
get
second,
sick?
1 second.
No.
He killed thousands of people, not really something to joke about. It's not something to joke
You
about.
mean-
We're
you
not
mean-
joking about it.
Right.
We're very serious.
You mean Cuomo? Putin.
Oh, maybe she's talking about Cuomo. She didn't write. You're talking about Cuomo? Cuomo also. Cuomo
Cuomo,
and Putin
yeah.
should be both buried in the same mass grave in Ukraine.
The truth of the matter is they're correct. I mean, this guy out of the blue started a
Putin,
war,
Putin
is
is
killing
open
people.
about his corruption. That's the difference between America and Russia.
No, they're not.
What do
No,
you mean they're not?
I
You know
mean, as
that
a Russian
you-
person, I'm going to tell you right now that a lot of corruption is
Is
not
hid
really
under
out
the
there,
table?
especially-
Which ones?
isn't
The
it
ones?
under the table.
Which ones?
We can talk about it later.
Do you
Okay, fine.
think?
Oh,
do you
she's
think
talking
by
about Cuomo.
freezing? Do you think by doing all these things to Russia and freezing all the money of the oligarchs and all that, you think all these things are going to work? Will this stop Putin? I mean,
It's definitely not going to stop Putin. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be another Iron Curtain if events don't turn in a different type of way, unless I think the Russian people actually
But
stand
what
up.
I do it.
how
what I
could
do
the
wanna
Russian
say-
people
some
stand
sort
up?
of
Every time
European
they stand up, they
I
get
want to
killed and
say,
shot.
I want to
Yeah.
say shout out to Joe Biden for having Putin be the mediator between Iran and Israel right now. I think he's. What do you mean? He's the one who they're using. You don't even know about it.
I don't know about it.
Putin's the one who's going to do the new nuclear deal between Iran and Israel. That's what I'm hearing.
While he's
Correct
at
me.
war, while he's at war with Ukraine.
Why do you correct me if I'm wrong? Google it or somebody put up in the comments if we're wrong.
Well, I'm not going
I
to
think
put up in
that's
the comments.
his only option because they don't have that one anymore.
Well, our show is coming to an end, and I'm going to do one more little commercial for my company called Green Line Building Solutions. We do preservation and development, fire department, criminal tickets, Department of Finance, settlements, building consulting, violation removal, construction management, owner compliance, contracting, licensed DOB expediters, designs, professionals for all your building solutions. We're located at 202 Forster Avenue, 718-871-0382, 718-871-0382. Come on down to 202 Forster Avenue. You have a lot of people with building problems. See, the city is cracking down. They're coming after people. They're torturing people left and right. They just, I got emails from building department inspectors and examiners. Well, even though you're in compliance, we want more. They
Heshy.
just keep the building shut. They're charging us more and they're torturing us more. Green Line keeps fighting them. I keep fighting them. And I'm just tired of all this fighting.
Before you go off there, is it true that you're getting Debbie a building downtown Brooklyn?
A building? I can help her. I'm not into real estate. I help people
heard
in
that
trouble.
you were getting her a big.
I heard you have a lot of money and
no, I
you're
heard you were
doing
getting
that.
her a multifamily building.
I heard you have a
to
lot of
rent
money.
out.
Maybe you could buy us both buildings.
Because she was telling me that she doesn't want to deal with the violations from the city, and you said you're going to help her with that.
Right. Anyways, that was Joe, the average guy. We're never going to invite him back to the show again. Thank goodness.
Yo, good
You are
luck.
never coming back here
Listen,
again.
you know
Watch
why?
our show. Tell everybody happy
God.
Passover, everybody. Tell them.
Happy Passover, everybody.
Say happy Passover, Joe.
$25,000 if you want me back on the show. But before we start,
Oh, you're going to pay
and
me
I'm gonna give-
$25,000. That's great. I can
if
finally
you
make a
wire-
profit on this
if you
show.
wire to-
Watch our show Wednesday nights. We're going to be off for the next 2 weeks. Happy Passover, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you're enjoying the pastor. And I hope you enjoyed everything on the show.
discount
Thank you
only
so much.
applies to you.
You got it. Play the music, dear producers.